Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, our praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'ashab Yahushai, Ba'ashab Makakodash Brakatam. Double honor shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone to continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Hakims, a great millstone and like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. Shalom to sincere Akwats who continuously learning in silence, as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. And also shalom to the true believers and subscribers of this true gospel, for this should be considered a true blessing from the higher power. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. All right, so the topic for this lesson for today, Abaratazah, will be his boundaries. I repeat, his boundaries. Because Esau Edom, he swears that he's going to be around forever, that his existence is going to be for eternity. And simply put, that's not what the biblical scriptures say. Okay? So what you see here, I don't know what the hell this thing is, but this is supposed to be like in the year 3050 somewhere, okay? And this is how humans are going to look. Again, Esau Edom and his wild imaginations, okay? So the title for this video is What If? That's all. What if? All right? And it's pretty lengthy, so I'm not going to play the whole video this go around, but I will play a portion of it, and then of course put up precepts to contradict Esau Edom's false shenanigans. All right? Because again, contrary to what he believed, he is not going to be around forever. You heard? So with that being said, let's go.
In the future, humans might look like this. They'll have long, tall bodies equipped to live in space. Or they could look like this. They might be forced to become short and fat to protect them from disasters happening on Earth. But none of that might happen if we don't start working on these problems today. Well, we're going to show you the people who are building the future of humanity. But first, let's look at what a possible future might look like just 100 years from now, which actually isn't that far away. Just think 3 to 4 generations from now. Think about your great-grandparents. They don't look that different from you, so maybe things won't change a ton, right? Well, wrong, because the changes we'll experience will go much further than simple genetics. Technology will also play a key factor in how our human bodies change. I'm talking about bionic limbs. Today, prosthetic limbs.
So you regret buying Bitcoin when, in fact, you could have gotten in on the next Solana for 50 cents.
Largely used by people born with congenital deficiencies or amputees, people who may have suffered horrible accidents or injured soldiers. But in the future, this technology might be used by anyone for enhanced performance. Soldiers might be equipped with an exoskeleton that allows them to lift cars. As the technology of bionic limbs gets faster, more nimble, and smarter, even civilians might want to get a mechanical upgrade. And it's not just limbs that will go bionic. As medical device companies crack the code, we might start getting fit with bionic organs too. Your pancreas, your eyes, your heart, all might be non-organic. And maybe the smartphones will be the control center, tracking how your bionic organs are functioning and delivering upgrades. Maybe we'll order up a boost whenever we need to perform an amazing physical feat, like running a marathon, even running a half marathon, or just a fun run. And if one of these bionic parts breaks down, well, we'll just pop into the body shop around the corner, get it fixed. You might also want to insert a brain chip that fuses your brain's gray matter with silicon. The mind meld is already underway.
Brain chip? I think I've heard of this before. Oh, that's right. The Neuralink. That might be the mark of the beast, the microchip that's mentioned in the book of Revelation 13:16. Let's continue.
DARPA, the U.S. military's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, recently put a chip inside a man's brain, which gave him an incredible new ability. With the help of this chip, he could telepathically control a number of drones. A more commonplace use of a brain chip might be to give us an enhanced photographic memory or instant access to vast amounts of data. Imagine being able to Google anything without pulling out your phone. But these neural chips could go above and beyond just regular data and news articles. You might be able to design your own senses. Yeah, what if you had an antenna implanted in your skull that gave you the power to hear color waves? Yeah, you could hear sounds when your brain picks up ultraviolet rays, infrared light. Or you might be able to detect vibrations in the earth and be able to predict earthquakes. As our minds fuse with machine intelligence, it's possible that this becomes a two-way street. The chip gives us access to unlimited data and new senses, but then humans can also upload their thoughts into the chip. I'm talking a complete merging of our gooey, pulpy brains with cutting-edge neural implants. I've got at least 16 megabytes of info in this thing. But then something even more mind-blowing might happen. We could connect all the neural chips, then multiple...
See that Edomite? He already confessed that he already got that Neuralink chip in his brain. So guess what? Either way, that missile is going to come upon him and the likes of him. All right, let's continue.
Humans could be part of one interconnected neural network. Welcome to the hive mind. Now, we'll come back to that in a bit, but right now, let's take a look at some of the biggest medical breakthroughs on the horizon, the kind that don't sound like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. Sure, we might see some bionic limbs and brain chips, but some of the most important innovations of the future will actually be built on the tech we already have, like X-rays, MRIs, and CT scans. These life-saving procedures help detect cancer, diagnose diseases early, and guide critical treatments. But here's something most people don't know. The materials that make those scans possible are facing a massive global shortage. These special liquids used during medical scans are called contrast agents. When you drink them or you get them through an injection, they highlight specific areas like organs, blood vessels, or tumors, helping doctors see what's happening inside your body more clearly. The minerals used to make them, barium, iodine, and gadolinium, are in high demand but short supply. And since North America imports 100% of its contrast media, our access to these essential drugs is at serious risk. That's where today's sponsor, Voyager Pharmaceuticals, comes in. They're the only company in North America that owns its own supply of these minerals and manufactures contrast agents domestically. This means lower costs, more control, and a secure supply chain. Right now, they're gearing up to launch their barium mining project in British Columbia, slashing production costs from $7,300 to just $650 per ton. They're also developing a next-gen iodine extraction system in the US that's faster, more efficient, and doesn't rely on outdated overseas processing. By 2026, Voyageur plans to launch FDA-approved contrast agents in the US, and they're already rolling them out in Canada, partnering with top global manufacturers along the way. Now, this isn't just smart business, it's critical healthcare. Because when hospitals don't have access to contrast agents, patients don't get the scans they need. And that's a crisis we can prevent. So, yes, the future might bring mind-blowing medical upgrades, but companies like Voyageur are proving that some of the most vital innovations are happening right now, ensuring we protect the tools.
All right, so I've had enough. Okay, I said I wasn't going to play this whole video because it's kind of lengthy. And again, yo, Esau Edom, I'm telling you, he is something else, okay? So, like I mentioned, I'm going to pull up some scripts to contradict him directly of this nonsense of him living way far and beyond. Y'all heard? I want to try to make this a quick video today as well. Abaratazah. So let's see what we got here. So we get to Obadiah 1:17. And to me, this is probably one of the most or the most powerful books in the whole Bible. All right? Because it's really saying and prophesying about Esau's demise. All right? So it reads, "But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions." So that's a future prophecy of when the kingdom of heaven is established, that we're going to be possessing all these other heathens, and first and foremost with Esau Edom. Here's a point, verse 18. "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble." And what does this mean? For the house of Esau for stubble, it's going to mean that once Esau serves his 1,000 years in captivity, by then, all of them are going to be rounded up. And they're going to be set on fire. They're going to be extinct. What you call it? They're going to be burnt. All right? Made for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. So Edom is going to be devoured when this time is up. "And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord had spoken it." Woo! I could just shut this lesson down right now. That's it. Finito. Capiche. Okay? Esau is not going to be around forever and ever. Now, let me go back. We get to the book of Job 14:5. And this is another knock on Esau and his wishful thinking. It reads, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass." Woo! Period. That's why my lesson today is his boundaries. Because the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, has already predetermined Esau's bounds of his existence. And once he reached that finish line, that bounds, That's it. He cannot go past not even a minute or a second past that bound. All right? So there you go. Let's go back. I want to get one more precept. And believe me, myself and the other Akims that's preaching this true gospel, we are so grateful that the divine intervention by the Lord is going to set sight soon upon these people. Why? Because according to Matthew 24:21, and it reads, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." In verse 22, and here's a point. "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Woo! Like Ric Flair. Woo! Man. Because simply put, without the Lord's intervention, his divine intervention, if it was entirely up to Esau, Edom, all of us, including himself, would perish under his regime and rulership. You heard? So like I said, this is going to be a quick lesson today. Abaratasa, Lord willing, edification is brought forth. And as always, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh. Ba'ashab, Yahushai, Ba'ashab, Makakodash, Brakatam, Kwam, Yasharala, Rise Israel. And as always, Abaratasa, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.